Oh, sorry, Coco. All right, so let's begin with a little sound. I love that sound vibration. Namaste and welcome to Pi Yo Freestyle Flow. And Coco has decided to join us today, so I do consider this a pet-friendly production. So I hope that you do love and enjoy pets. Today we will be doing a basic, or I should call it a beginner advanced style Pilates and yoga class for toning, strength, and flexibility. I always say make sure you practice at your own pace, within your own range of motion, and don't do anything that feels uncomfortable or unnatural to you. And all you'll need today is your yoga mat. So without further ado, let's begin. So come down onto your mat, have your knees bent, arms out extended in front of you. Inhale, and as you exhale, just slowly roll down onto your mat. And I'm going to have to adjust myself on my mat. Bring your knees to your chest and just begin rocking from side to side, warming up the back of your body. And as you do that, maybe close your eyes and just begin to tune in a little bit. Take a few deep breaths in and out, allowing your head to move in the same direction as your knees and your shoulders. Place your hands on top of your knees and slowly begin to circle, targeting your lower back, continuing to massage that area. Reverse, circle in the opposite direction. Bring your knees back to center. Interlace your hands below your right knee and stretch out your left leg. Exhaling, raise your head and shoulders, draw the knee in toward the forehead. Then lower the head and shoulders, switch sides, draw the opposite knee in as you stretch out your right leg. And just do that a couple more times from side to side. Inhaling and exhaling. You can inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. We'll be doing basically slow, deep breathing, but we'll also be doing some staccato breaths, short breaths in and out. And then exhale, bring your head and shoulders up, bringing both knees toward the forehead. And then release, bring your feet down, keep your knees bent, arms by your sides. Begin tilting your pelvis forward and back, still warming up the lower back. Also relaxing the psoas muscles or releasing the psoas muscles a little bit as you do that. Next, we're going to move into a moving bridge. So slide your heels a little closer to your glutes, your arms closer to your sides. And then as you exhale, lift up and lower down. So we're going to lift up and down a couple times, continuing to warm up the spine a little bit. You can maybe shrug your shoulders in close towards your upper back or going towards under the upper back. And just gently lifting and lowering the hips and the glutes. So as you lift up, you're engaging your inner thighs. Try not to tighten your glutes so much because that can bring tension to the lower back. So you are going to tighten your glutes a little bit here, but you want to engage the inner thigh muscles too as you press your feet down into the floor. And now holding that bridge pose, maybe you can slide your heels back a little bit more and then lift one shoulder at a time to slide the arms under your back, interlacing the fingers if possible, and lift your belly button up a little higher. So be careful of your chin, especially if you have a hyperthyroid of your chin. You don't want to jam your chin into your chest, so you still want to have a little space between the chest and the chin, especially if you have a thyroid condition. We don't want to interfere with any thyroid activity. We only want to help it. Now slide your arms from under your back and then slowly roll one vertebrae down from the upper middle to the lower back. And then once the lower back touches, then draw the knee into the chest again, just for a little stretch. Bring the feet back down to the floor. Keep your left leg down, raise your right leg up, begin making circles at that right hip joint. Try to keep your hips from moving, but if they, if you can't, that's okay. Just work at your own range of motion. But if possible, you want to try to keep your hips from moving so that you are just working in that right hip joint. Now we're going to reverse and circle in the opposite direction. So we're doing anywhere from 4 to 8 reps of these different exercises. Bringing that leg now slightly across midline, so straighten the left leg. And if you notice, you're rotating the hip open and moving the leg in the direction that you're flowing the leg to. Now bring that knee in and draw it in. So what I mean by that is when you take the leg out to the side, you rotate the hip open and then you turn the leg straight when you bring it back to center and you repeat. So you're working the muscles around the leg, and then you do the same thing going in the opposite direction. All right. Switch legs, do the same thing with the left leg. So straighten, you open, rotate the leg out as you bring it out, and vice versa. So just a couple more circles in that direction. And then we will reverse that leg. And yes, you probably heard some crepitus in that left hip. My left hip, I've had a few injuries through the years with that left hip. So you might hear it crunching and cracking a little bit. And then bring that knee in. Bring both legs up. Keep your legs bent at about 45-degree angle. Arms down by your sides. I'm just going to tap the toes down and bring it up, side to side. The wider the angle, the more challenging, but try to avoid, because this is what you see sometimes. You see people, they just bend the leg and bring it down, but you don't want to move at that knee joint. Just tap down. If you need to narrow the angle, go ahead and narrow it, but still don't move at the knee joint. A couple more times, side to side. One more, side to side. And now we're going to bring both legs down at the same time. Now press your lower back into the floor. Engage your lower abdominals here. And you may still feel your lower back coming up a little bit. That's okay. Just make sure you're not feeling tension in the lower back. Let's do 2 more and 1 more. All right, again, rock from side to side. Extend the legs straight up, point the toes, and now we're going to pulse up. And here's where we can use our staccato breath. Inhale down. Inhale through the nose, exhale through pursed lips, like you're blowing through a straw. 4 more. Let's do 4 more. Okay, now bring the knees in. Next, we're going to lift. If you can lift your upper back and shoulders. If your head gets tired, maybe place one hand behind your head, but try not to pull. You're just supporting the head. And then you're going to extend one leg at a time and just tap, 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 engaging your lower abdominals here, tap. Now, if you can, use both hands. You tap the side and the top of the thigh. Tap, tap, tap. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 4 more. 2 more. Okay, bring the knees in. Rock from side to side. All right, next we're going to do extending both arms. We're going to extend both arms and legs and then tap the side. Inhale, exhale. Four more. Last one. All right, bring the feet down. Slide your heels, well, just have your knees bent. Arms out to T. Lift your hips, and then scoot your hips over to your left side. Lower the knees to the right. Turn your head to look over the left shoulder. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. Lift the knees back up. Bring the hips to center. Lift the hips again, and then scoot the hips over toward the right side to lower the legs to the left, and turn your head to the right. Taking a couple more deep breaths in and out. Now lift the legs back up. Bring the hips back to center. Bring your arms overhead and stretch out from head to toe. And just stretch your left side a little longer than the right side. And then back to center. Stretch your right side a little longer than the left side. And back to center. And then from there, we're going to do a roll up. So bring your legs, your feet, your thighs together. Point your toes. And then inhale. As you begin to exhale, peeling your head, shoulders, and your back off the mat. Come up to center. And then exhale, stretch forward. Inhale, center. Exhale as you round back down, one vertebra at a time. Check in with your lower back. If you need to maybe bend your knees a little bit, that's okay. You want to try to keep engaging your core muscles here. And then slowly come up. That actually is a little bit more challenging. And then exhale to stretch. Inhale, roll back down. And repeat. So let's do that. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and roll back down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and roll back down. Let's do four more. Three more. Move over a little bit because I know I'm hitting this chair. And last one. And stretch out again. Just stretch side to side a little bit. Bend your knees and then separate your feet wider than your hips and lower that right knee down like you're bringing it down toward the top of the left foot. And then switch sides. Bring the opposite knee down. And bring that leg up. And now just come up to seated. And just take a moment. Scan your body for a few seconds. Let me see this real quick. How do I do this? Oh, okay. And we're just going to. Okay, so now let's come down onto hands and knees. Do a few rounds of cat-cow. Bring your big toes together, separate your knees, and just press your hips toward your heels. Stretch your back out a little bit. Take a few deep breaths in and out. See if you can feel your breath, your rib expanding around the sides and the back of your body. Just kind of stretch out a little bit, pressing a little bit more toward the heels, and then come back up to center. Extend your right leg back, press through the heel. Keep your hips squared as much as possible. Shoulders, wrists, arms, hip, shoulder width apart. Gently press your fingertips into the mat and palms pressing down into the mat and below the knuckle area pressing down too. And then from there, lift the right leg up. Try to square that, keep that hip square. Draw your lower abdomen in. Extend the left arm. I see you, girl. Plug in that left shoulder into the shoulder socket, the right hip into the right hip socket. Hey, girl. And then from there, you can do abdominal crunch. Bring the elbow toward the knee. Opposite elbow toward the opposite knee. Extend. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 4 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale. Now holding. Take a couple more breaths in and out. And then bring the hand down and the knee comes down. Extend the left leg back. And squaring the hips on this side, lifting the left leg and extending the right leg. Draw your lower abdomen in. Inhale, exhale, opposite knee and elbow. Abdominal crunch. As you exhale, four more. Two more. Last one. All right, now bring that hand down, bring that knee down. Curl your toes under. Exhale, going up into a downward facing dog. You have a slight bend in your knee, and then just bicycle from side to side. Do a couple squats here. Maybe lift that leg up into like a fire hydrant, extending. Bring that foot down. Bring the other knee up. And then down. Bringing both knees back down to the ground. And you can, maybe go into a child's pose again. From there, come down to your forearms. Elbows under the shoulders. Palms together. Extend one leg and then the other leg. So you're on the balls of your feet. Draw your lower abdomen in. Just hold and breathe. This is our low plank. And then we can add some kisses, knee kisses from side to side. That's 2, 3, 4. You can do slow, deep breathing here. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now slowly lower down onto your stomach. And just fold your arms. Turn your head to one side. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. Hey, girl. And then extend your arms out in front. Now check in with your lower back. Make sure you're kind of tucking your, pressing your pelvis into the mat. Tops of your feet press into the mat. So you're trying to support your lower back. And then from there, see if you can just lift your legs up slightly and your arms. And we're just going to start swimming. And I'm going to count us down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now bring your arms by your sides and then relax, lower down. Turn your head to the side. Take a few deep breaths in and out. You can actually turn your head from side to side. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows in towards your sides. Tuck your tailbone or press your pubic bone into the mat where you're kind of tucking your tailbone. And then lifting your heart, come up to a Cobra or Sphinx pose. Come up to Sphinx pose first. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. And then from there, slide your hands back and maybe you can push up to a Cobra. Try to keep the pelvis toward the mat. And then from there, going back into your child's pose. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. And then come up to table. Step your right foot forward. Place your hands to the inside of that right foot. Curl your left toes under and extend the left leg, pressing through the heel. Couple deep breaths here, and then pivot that heel to the floor. And then maybe you can extend, open up to the front, in front of that right leg, and then lift that arm up. And then bring that hand down. And if possible, I want you to straighten the leg and then just walk your feet over to the other side. So you turn that foot out to the side. Turn that foot, and you're going to have to step that back foot forward a little bit. So you can bring both hands to the inside of that left foot and then lower the knee on that side. Or first you can stretch back through that heel first a little bit and then pivot the heel down and then open up on this side. Taking a couple deep breaths in and out. And bring the hands down. Walk to your center. Yeah, slight bend in the knee, and then come into that wide-legged forward fold. You can have a slight bend in the knee, a little squat down. Place your hands in the inner thigh, a little added stretch there, and then straighten. Bend your knees, hands on your thighs, and just walk your heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. Come into a forward fold. Let your back relax. Take some deep breaths in and out. You have a slight bend in the knees. Bring your fingers to the floor and bring one knee down and the other knee down. Oh, a couple more things I forgot about. Now, being on your knees, extend. And it's actually my left leg, but your right leg out to the side. And I know my head, you can't see it on my head, but I'll turn your left palm up, inhale, stretch up, exhale, bend. I like this stretch. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. Make sure you're not pressing down on that leg. You're just gently keeping your fingertips there. Now switching. Bring the left hand down, reach the right arm over. This is a modified side plank. You can lift the leg up to intensify, or you can extend the opposite leg. So it's up to you. You can have the knee down or the knee up. And then hand on the hip, lower the knee, lift the leg, and if you want to stretch out that thigh muscle a little bit, draw the heel back, arch your back, and then carefully bring that knee down. Extend the opposite leg out to the side. Hands on your hips. And just adjust the foot accordingly. You know, if it feels uncomfortable to be straight out, or you can bring it forward slightly. The hip should be aligned, the leg should be aligned out from the hip as much as possible. Make sure you're not twerking or hurting anything. We just go to our edge. You find your edge, which is that point of resistance, and then you breathe, and the body sometimes will just kind of naturally relax. A couple deep breaths, feel that nice side stretch. And then bring that hand down, reaching the other arm up and over. Nice long stretch on your left side of your body. And my right side. Lift that leg up, bend the knee, draw that heel toward the glute, arch the back. And breathe. And then come back down. And just sit on your heels in rock pose. Take a moment to check in. Maybe bring the palms together in front of your heart. In front of your brow. In front of your solar plexus. And then back to your heart. To seal your practice into your heart, into your mind, into your emotions. Thank you for joining me for Pi Yoga Freestyle Flow. Until next time, namaste, peace, Om Shanti.